Hello there. I'm Gwendolyn Davis, certified life coach, health coach, and weight coach. Okay, let's dive into chapter 52, internal or external. So when it comes to validation that you're good enough, where are you turning to feel better? Where do you get your validation from? So external would look like turning to looking to others. You wish so-and-so would compliment you, wish your spouse would notice you, you wish your friend would call you. It's whatever it is outside of you to feel better. Or you're turning to food to feel better. Or it's outside sources like, oh, if I got this new job, I'd definitely feel better. If the number on the scale said this, I would definitely be good enough. I would feel better about myself. Okay. But what if none of the external things work? Because they don't last. It's nice in the moment, right? Who doesn't want to hear that somebody notices, hey, you're doing a great job? It's just like, yes, thank you. But then you go home that night and you totally beat yourself up. Yeah, they might find out what I'm really like, the one voice says in your head. Um, so it's just, yeah, external does not work. Internal, on the other hand, is coming from your thoughts. It's coming from your self-talk. It's coming from your beliefs. It's coming from yourself. It's learning to be curious about yourself. And when you don't believe that you are good enough, it's learning to say, but what if I am? Like, let's say you wake up the next morning and you're just like, hey, what if I'm good enough today? So it's that daily check-in. When you wake up and you feel your confidence isn't very much or you're not feeling good enough, it's just like, yeah, but what if I am? What would my day look like if I am good enough? And then it's turning to you. It's looking in the mirror and saying positive thoughts to say, yep, I don't know how, but I'm going to figure me out. And I am good enough. All righty. So this is a quote I found. It was in my book. I haven't read this for a long time. It's just the time for joy. And it's daily affirmations, January 18th, which is the day I'm recording this. It says, most people fail because they do not wake and see when they stand at the fork in the road and have to decide. That was from Eric Fromm. Okay, that totally reminded me of Choice Point. Here's the fork in the road. You're the one that gets to decide whether or not you need external validation to feel good about yourself, or you can simply turn to yourself to feel good about yourself. And this is where the work happens, right? Is choosing at this point what we want. Sure, I go down rabbit holes. Over the holidays, I was going down one and I'm like, wasn't feeling good enough, was seeking validation from outside sources. And so that night, I wrote myself a letter, dear self, you're going down a rabbit hole. You're feeling sorry for yourself. Do you want to keep doing that? You have a choice. And just, yep, I identified my problem at hand, what I was doing, and then I could encourage myself. It's like, hey, you are good enough. You're going to figure this out. You're going to work through the hard. You're going to learn from this experience. And so it was just, I went to bed feeling much better about myself. And I woke up the next day feeling good enough because I had addressed the issue. And it's just like, no, of course, we're not going to feel good about ourselves. So what can you do to get turned to that internal validation when you need it? Because things outside of you are not going to make you feel better. Validation has to come from within if it's going to last. And that's what we want, right? To wake up every day. Yeah, I am good enough. Here's my choices. Here's what I am going to do today. Here's what I'm going to do to choose to work on me to become the version of me that I want. And that's what we're learning, right? Here's what we want. And here's our vision of what we want for ourselves and how can we break it down into bite-sized pieces so that day by day we're making choices at the fork in the road where we choose us, where we choose the habits we desire, we choose to reprogram, we choose to work through the hard one step at a time. Okay, so here's two examples. So one client this week was saying, yeah, she was driving home from visiting her friend that's dying from cancer. And there's that spot on the road where she used to stop and to buy her favorite treat. And her brain's like, yep, you deserve to have something sweet. And she says, no, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pick some fruit. Okay, so she stopped the thought immediately that you deserve this. She wasn't turning to external things to feel better, food. She's turning to herself because she knows she can do it because she's been practicing working through her emotions. She stops and she tells herself, I have the ability to fight this. I can do this. She's worth it. She knows that and she's working on it. Okay. And then another client, he's like, yep, he got the job, the promotion that he wanted. And he told himself before, if I get this job, everything will be fine. And he gets the job. And then it's not long before his inner voice, yeah, I don't deserve this position, even though his manager was telling him that he's doing a good job. Because the external validation does not make us feel better. It's our thoughts about situations, our thoughts about ourselves that make us feel better. So just know that you have it in you. You can validate yourself when you need that extra perk, when you need that extra pickup. Turn to yourself, write yourself a letter, look in that mirror, use your I am statements. One step at a time is how this happens, to believe in ourselves that we are good enough. Okay, you got this. Bye.